Yeah, Adrian, I should have just got it when I saw it first, right? Let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the house that is mad. You are now mad by default because you're watching this mug on that screen. You're welcome. If you're new around here, big welcome to you. Big welcome. If you like what I do around here and you haven't subscribed, consider smashing that subscribe button down below. And if you like what I'm doing even more, consider giving me a thumbs up on this video, dropping us a comment. There's going to be plenty of opportunities to comment below because I got questions this week. But yeah, I think that's the housekeeping done and dusted. Let's get into the video. Now, today is a little bit different. You're going to get 2 montages, not 1, but 2. Yes, 2. Yes. More about that later. But anyway, I have put a question in the posts community tab about ideas for merch. Now, somebody came up with like a laptop sticker of some kind saying protect your peace. I'm totally down. Definitely that's a winner. But you know, what sort of things, if you were given the opportunity to buy, with mugs, posters, t-shirts, hoodies, pens, bottles, what sort of things are you interested in, and what sort of phrases would you like to see on any given merch that I may release? We're getting down to some crunch time here. I really want to do this and set up a merchandise thing for this channel. I just think that it would be nice, you know, and I've been doing the travels of trying to find various companies that do it, and I think I've settled on one of them that seems to know what they're doing. Not that none of them do, but this one particularly seems to know what they're doing. So I might go with the ones that I've, you know, chosen. More about that later. But yeah, I really want to hear about what you would like in terms of the merchandise and the sorts of things that you would like to have on that merchandise. So yeah, comment below. Input is needed. Go for it. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about also is about zinc. I'm getting some conflicting opinions about zinc. Now, by conflicting is that on one hand you've got doctors saying it's okay to take it long term, and then you've got some areas that say, nah, you're not meant to take it long term. I'm starting to do some digging on that because I really want to know. If you guys have any specific videos that give me the information that I really need, again, drop me a comment down below with the link to the video or the information itself. I'd love to pool all that information together so that I can make an educated decision as to whether I should continue to take them or not. My original reason for taking them was something to do with getting rid of those spiky protein thingies that are in the COVID shot. I'm not going to get into the COVID shot with you guys. I had 2, and in my opinion, that was too many. They made me feel awful, and I think it's a bit of a scam. But anyway, like I said, I'm not going to get into it. No. But yes, that was my original reason for wanting to take zinc. And when I went to order some more, I was advised by the pharmacist that zinc is not something that you can take long term. Now, I want to know if that's true. Do you have any information? So yeah, drop us a comment below. Let's have all that info. So the first montage is something that I did when I was in Sydney. And it's funny because when I was sitting out here actually putting this montage together, my husband came out and the music was playing, and he went, "That sounds very much like Looney Tunes music." And I'm like, oh. I said, "You have no idea how funny that is given what I'm editing." So I just thought I'd leave you with that little thought. Yeah. So basically what I did was I went to the place where my husband and I got married. And where we got married was important to me because both my parents had passed away by this point, and I wanted to kind of have a bit of a representation of them with me on this day. So I've got some footage and I've got some photographs with some nice music in the background. So let's cue the special montage. So yes, you have to go back in order to move forward. Maybe that could be a nice little thing to put on merchandise, because there's value in it. There's value in it. You've got to deal with some things in the past in order to move forward. Yeah. And leaning into all of that up to this point has served me very, very well. I don't know what to say about that, except that it's just done me some good. And moving forward is always the aim, whether it be emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or physically. Moving forward is very important. And I realize that, you know, my Friday videos don't resonate with an awful lot of people, and probably for a multitude of reasons. You know, here I am trying to work on my mobility so that I can physically move forward. And sometimes people are not willing to face that part of their journey yet. And I think I have to learn how to respect that. Do I wish that more people would watch my videos on my journey in Sydney, my trip to Sydney? Yes, I do. But I also know that seeing that part for some people is probably quite difficult. But at least they're always there for when you are ready to see what's possible, because that's what it's about. You know, 94 weeks, and it may not seem like a lot, but it's enough that I can actually start living again and having a life beyond sitting here and just wasting away. I mean, nearly 2 years ago, I was basically sitting here waiting to die. And to have that turnaround, that would indicate that someone's done a considerable amount of work emotionally, mentally, and physically. And I'm not out of the woods yet, not by any stretch of the imagination. There's still some stuff to do. I know there is. And it'll probably never end. And I'm good with it because I have the skills. I know what to do. Oh, that's going to cause me some grief. Time to lean into it and try to learn how to deal with it so that we go into the past to move forward. And like I said, not everybody's at that point yet. And we all get to that point in our own way and in our own time. And I have to learn to respect that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. So how about we cue the montage? So yeah, interesting week. I mean, I've had losses, gains, it's shifting around again, but that's to be expected. You know, I put on quite a bit in a couple of weeks while I was off plan. So I'm, you know, down to the nitty gritty of getting rid of it again. And that's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it because, you know, like my husband's taking me out to a nice restaurant for my birthday at the end of next month. And although it's going to be seafood, not you see food and eat it, seafood as in ocean stuff. Okay, just letting you know that one. I know that not all of it's going to be prepared in the way that I would ideally like it to be prepared. Like it won't be cooked in tallow or butter or anything like that. I'm fully prepared for the damage of having that nice meal, and it's my birthday. And you've got to... You can be really, really strict, and it could end up doing, you know, you can end up cutting off your nose to spite your face. But I'm in a place now where if I do go off plan, I have the Carnivore home base that just makes it easier. You know, I can't explain it. It's just, that's okay. So my birthday, day off, so to speak, going to enjoy my birthday. I'm going to enjoy going out to lunch with my husband, probably have a nice dinner with my kids as well that evening, and that'll be it. And we'll just go from there. And so there may be some damage. The inches will go up, you know, the centimeters will go up, and the weight will go up. I'll be inflamed. It might be difficult. I'm prepared for all the negative side of it because I leaned into the consequences of making that choice and dealt with it. I leaned into it. I'm like, okay, well, these are the things that could happen. We got Carnivore to rein it back in again. And, you know, it'll be the same for Christmas. I want to enjoy myself. Let's face it. You know, I mean, there's only so many recipes for alternatives that you can stand before you go, oh, look, I know this stuff is bad for me and I shouldn't eat it. And I know I shouldn't do it. I know I shouldn't, but time out. Because you've got to figure that this kind of lifestyle is basically going to be for the rest of your life. I'm not saying it's not maintainable. It is. But you have to look at what that maintainable looks like for you. You know, for some, it is a case of looking for alternatives for carnivore bread or carnivore pancakes or carnivore ice cream. And people can do that. But I have found since being carnivore that because of carnivore, those 2 weeks that I had off, I found it so much easier to jump back on the wagon. It was easier jumping on that wagon again as opposed to all the other dietary lifestyle changes I've ever made in my life. It just made it so much easier. So, you know, this is what I mean, being kind to yourself. You know, like I've said in the past, it doesn't mean having that donut, but does it? As long as you know what the consequences are and you are prepared for those consequences, then you should be okay. But if you're not, and you're going to have the donut, for example, and then get on the scales and go, oh God, I put on weight, there really is no reason to be surprised by that. You shouldn't be surprised if you've leaned into all the possible consequences of going off plan. And there is no shame in it. And I remember something that Dr. Berry said ages ago when I first started. All people on carnivore stray. They all cheat. And up until that point, obviously, up until like a few weeks ago, I hadn't. And I was horrified. I'm like, well, I haven't. And up to that, I hadn't, you know. I was horrified. But he's right. He's right. Everybody does. There's no shame in it. Be at peace within yourself to know the consequences of absolutely everything. And do you. Do you. You have to. Because if this is a lifelong thing, and it will be for me, it will be a lifelong commitment with the odd occasional day off for a birthday or the Christmas or the New Year's, things like that. As long as you know the consequences of those choices that you make, then how can you go wrong? Really? Because you know what to do. You know what to do. So I'll leave you with those thoughts, my darlings. In the meantime, I'd like you to be kind to those around you. Protect your peace. Don't take any crap. And be kind to yourself. You are loved, you are appreciated, and you are enough. I'll see you Friday, folks. Mwah.